You know, it's not Bleacher Report, so I can't roast him as bad. But an NFL insider, Matt Lombardi. Alright, so I'm gonna cut in real fast. I actually thought this was Mike Lombardi, which is the guy who goes on Pat McAfee's show all the time, who's actually a former GM and an NFL insider. This is actually not him. This is Matt Lombardi, which I think is his son or something like that, or brother. I don't know. There's some correlation. But this is actually a senior national NFL insider, so I do apologize in this video. I thought it was Mike Lombardi on Pat McAfee's show. This is not the guy on Pat McAfee's show. It's a completely separate person, but this has the same last name pretty much. But enjoy the rest of the video, guys. It's actually, he's pretty much always on Pat McAfee's show, ironically enough. He listed the Cincinnati Bengals as one of the 6 top landing spots for the elite receiver, Devante Adams. Let's talk about this. Devante Adams is still a very great receiver in the NFL. He's still a top 5 receiver in the NFL. He is also 31 years old. Now, don't get me wrong, I think he will still be a top receiver for the next 3 to 4 years. And I think he will be a really, great asset for anyone to get. But in what logical sense does this make for us to trade for Devante Adams? Because first off, let me tell you what they're going to want for Devante. He's the best receiver in the NFL. I mean, one of the best, right? They're going to want at least, most likely, 1 or 2 first-round picks. They don't get 2. They'll probably ask for 1 first-round pick, maybe a 3rd, maybe a 5th, probably 3 different picks, or maybe a player or 2, right? They're going to ask for a good amount of draft capital or trade capital to get Devante Adams. Because again, like I said, he is one of the best in the NFL. There's no really going around that. I mean, he's a top 5 receiver. Even though, yes, he is older, he's still a very great receiver. Now, with us currently trying to get T. Higgins under contract, trying to work out a contract with T. Higgins, how would this make any sense for us to go out there, right, when the fact we have to pay, our other receiver, Jamar Chase, sometime very soon, literally starting next year, we're going to have to give him a new contract. How does that make any sense for us to go out there and trade all this draft capital, right, all these players to try to get another elite receiver when we have a guy who I think is right up there with Devante Adams as one of the best, and he's younger, and he's going to cost less. So, let me just, I need to find the Raiders. For some reason, I can't find the Raiders here. Hang on, guys. Let's, there they are. Okay, so we got the Raiders right here. I just want to see what overthecap.com looks at when it comes to this trade and what they would say we have to give up to get Devante Adams. Because again, like I said, Devante, $28,000. So according to overthedraft.com, we'd have to give up at least, don't tell me 2 first. So there's overthedraft.com puts his value, he's 31, but he's one of the best receivers in the NFL, as 2 first and 2 second round picks. There is no way on God's beautiful green earth here that this would ever, and I mean ever, the fact they list us as the top 6 options is a joke. Like, we're sitting here talking about, well, okay, if we get Jamar Chase and all the money we pay him, we might not be able to keep T. Higgins. That's going to be a contract we got to work on, we got to talk about. There's all these stipulations on whether or not we can work out a contract with T. Higgins, and he's asking for probably $25 million a year. Now, let's look at Devante Adams, because he is 31 years old. That is correct. But the next 2 years, $25 million next year, 44 the year after that, 44 the year after that. Now, it's not all guaranteed money. That is correct. Could you rework his contract and try to push the money toward the future? I mean, you could, but at the same time, the guy is 33, 34 at that point. At what point are you going to say, we're paying a wide receiver, all this money, who is 34, 35, when we have T. Higgins? I mean, if you brought in Devante Adams and didn't just re-sign T. Higgins, I think that would be the biggest L you could possibly take. I get it. Demonte's a great receiver, right? But if you're going to go all out there and try to get a number one receiver and trade all this draft capital, I don't think you should. But go get Justin Jefferson. Go get Jay Jettis. I mean, if you're going to go out there and do it, you know, if you want to be illogical and just go out there and do it, just go do it. Like, this is why I don't understand these analysts / insiders / all these, you know, script writers. I understand that, you know the Bengals right now are struggling on offense, right? We are. We have a calf strain problem with Joe Burrow. How, in any way possible, is Devante Adams going to change that? He's not. You don't think Jamar Chase, if it wasn't for his calf strain, I mean, when he actually looked like he healed a little bit from his calf strain last week, Jamar Chase went off. You don't think that, like, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase is going to be the guys to, you know, get open and make plays and help, you know, Joe Burrow if he didn't have a calf strain? Like, is it logical? And again, like I said, T. Higgins is 25 years old. I will take T. Higgins on a 6-year contract, 5-year contract, put him to he's 30 years old on this team, and give him $25 million a year before I sit there and try to justify in any way possible paying a 31-plus-year-old receiver $30+ million a year. Sorry, $40+ million a year. I'm being stupid here. $40+ million a year. There's no way we could pay for that. Like, again, listen. And if he's an NFL insider / he actually, I think he used to be a GM for a team. And I get that, right? You know, you want to list someone, you want to get people talking, you know. And honestly, the other players that he listed on that, you know, list right there for possible players that, you know, Devante could be traded to, I don't think the rest of the teams are really that illogical. So going down this list here, he has the Cowboys. I don't think that's illogical. I think that's, you know, probable. 49ers, yeah, why not? Getting a Deebo Samuel option out there other than Deebo Samuel. Browns, that's illogical because literally they're negative $60 million next year. There's rumors that they might get rid of Amari Cooper because they're negative $60 million next year. So that's illogical. Lions makes sense. I think that's okay. And then Packers. That's not really that bad. And again, like I said, I understand. Actually, this is Matt Lombardi. This is the guy going on Pat McAfee show, right? Unless that's Mike Lombardi. That might be Mike Lombardi. Okay, so I might have been incorrect though. I thought this guy was the guy that went on Pat McAfee show and used to be a GM. So this guy's not actually went on Pat McAfee show and he wasn't a GM. Okay, so I thought this was that guy. When I saw Lombardi, that's what I thought about. But anyway, though, even then, so this guy is a senior NFL insider, formerly heavy on sports, NJ.com. We are... Okay, so yeah, so he's an NFL insider. And again, like I said, I understand the concept of, you know, you want to get clicks, you want to get views, so you're making outrageous, ridiculous trades. But when you do them, just, you know, kind of think for a second, you know? Kind of go through and have an idea of what you're thinking when you are making this, you know, think. And it says right here, he even goes into right here. They still have $12.6 million in cap space this season and $86.63 million in spending flexibility in 2024. So not really any financial hurdles adding Adams to the fold. And I'm not going to give you a pass because you're an NFL insider. Tell me why that doesn't make sense. Because even if you make the idea, and it says right here, and it could make the most sense to trade Higgins for Adams straight up, right? Trade Higgins for Adams straight up. Trade a 25-year-old receiver for a 31-year-old receiver when a 25 receiver who probably wants $25 million a year, and this guy's making 31 and 44 the next 2 years. Now, tell me why this does not make sense. We would not have to go through any financial hurdles to get this contract or to add Devante Adams, right? So let's go through it, right? Okay, so starting off right away, we have $12.6 million this year. That is correct. So if we traded for him right now, right, Devante Adams, okay, right now we traded for him. He costs us $14.74 million against the cap. Now, you could say, well, then to subtract T. Higgins' contract. T. Higgins is sitting around, where's T. Higgins right here? Let me not take the L here. Right here. 3.9. Okay, so then you're saying, well, then he's only going to cost you around 10 million. Okay, so we have 2.6 million. I'll give you credit there. 2024. We have 86.8 million, like you said. Okay, we got to give Jamar Chase a probably $30+ million contract extension. Okay, so that's $30+ million. That now knocks us down to 56 million. Okay? Now, again, we could push the money toward the future there, but knowing Chase and how he's been very vocal, I think he wants all the money every year like he's supposed to get. So, and again, Jay Jettis' contract's going to dictate that. So then, we have 56 million. So obviously, you can go out there and pay, 25.3 million to Devante Adams. That's easy money, right? What about Cheeto? Well, he said we traded away T. Higgins. So what about Cheeto, though? You're just not going to re-sign Cheeto? You're not going to re-sign Jonah Williams? You're not going to re-sign Tyler Boyd? Like, DJ Reader? You'll let him go? Is Devante Adams that good? You're going to let all these guys go? Like, yes, we have money, but it really quickly gets eaten up when you lose all the players we have to re-sign and bring back, right? Well, yes, you could make the argument that, well, let all those guys go. Devante's that good. Is he really that much better than T. Higgins? I think he is great. I think he's a great receiver, but I don't think with his age and the money he's costing that he's a better return financially than T. Higgins is. Makes no sense. It doesn't work out. The money doesn't add up. So again, like I said, I understand. Listen, I understand, right? You got a guy who could potentially be traded. You try to list a team that you think, oh, let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. It just won't work out. It really won't. When you get older at wide receiver, there's more injury issues, more injury concerns. And I'd rather take a guy who's 25 in the prime of his career than someone who's 30+ years old. And still great, still amazing, still elite. But things move quickly in the NFL. Players start dropping off, and things are not the way they are. Peace out, guys.